M1 Garand. Type: semi-automatic rifle. Country of origin: United States. Caliber: .30-06. Cartridge capacity: 8 rounds. Muzzle velocity: approximately 2,838 feet per second. Rate of fire: 30 rounds per minute.
Hey guys, what's up? This is Nick R94. I'm here today showing you my newest M1 Garand. It's full scale, 42.5 inches long. It's made of wood, metal, and plastic, and it took me about a month and a half to make. So like usual, let's get started off with showing you the buttstock of the rifle all the way up to the muzzle. Okay, so like always, the butt plate is aluminum. It has stamped on it M1 Garand on the top and Nick R94 underneath. The butt plate is actually a little beat up from the film that I just recently did. Mainly just a test film to see my new editing software. Alright, so the receiver here is made out of PVC pipe, wood, and metal. Pretty much anything that I could possibly make look real. So, the housing is actually PVC pipe right here, and then I cut it out. This is wood. The two little ears here are plexiglass. The sight is molded PVC pipe. This little guy here, I don't know what you call this thing, that's made out of wood, and it's detailed out a little bit. And the knobs are just wooden dowels that I cut out. Okay, and the charging handle works. And on the inside here is a rubber band, just like all the rest of my models. Okay, one thing I left out back here is a sling mount. That's just screwed on. The sling that I have on here is a replica of a M1 Garand sling. They're also seen on 1903s and M14s and stuff like that. Okay, and the trigger is made out of molded PVC pipe. On the inside there's a spring. The trigger guard is supposed to resemble a Type 2 M1 Garand trigger guard. Has that little L right here. It's made out of a hose clamp, and that is placed into the stock and screwed in. Bottom plate here for the magazine housing is made out of aluminum, and just to keep it a little bit more low profile, I nailed it in and glued it in to the stock of the rifle. Okay, now up top here, what I would call the upper receiver of the M1 Garand. I don't really know the actual term of it, but it's part of the stock. Alright, I have a screw which keeps the upper receiver to the lower receiver stock of the M1 Garand. And right up here I have the metal band, which is made out of aluminum from a metal can, and all I did was chisel out on the stock where I wanted it to be, cut it out from the aluminum can, glued and nailed it to the upper part of the stock. Moving up forward, I have the other metal bands, and as you can see up here, I have a nail which helps keep the metal band to the stock of the rifle. On the inside it's internally nailed also, so that was a funny joke. But anyways, there's two different metal bands here. A lot of people don't see this, but on a real M1 Garand that's pretty much how it is. So, now on the inside I have screwed metal sling mount. And by the way, both of these sling mounts are homemade. Even the little rings where you put the sling through. Okay, and I made the front and the rear out of metal wire and hose clamp metal. Alright, now underneath on the rifle over here is the gas tube, which runs from the end of the main stock, which I would call the main stock, runs from here all the way up to pretty much the muzzle of the barrel. Okay, and that's screwed on there from right here. And I had hollowed all of this out with a Dremel, which takes a very long time. And the gas tube, I have the bayonet mount looking thing right here. It's just a screw that I put on there and cut it and modified it a little bit just to make it kind of look like a bayonet mount. Now here I have the last metal band that you would see. It's kind of like a plate, but it's made out of molded PVC pipe, and I just cut it out with a bandsaw and a Dremel and made it flush with the stock of the rifle. And using nails keeps it a little bit more low profile, so there's no screws sticking out or whatever. You don't have to worry about it breaking off with glue. So this is another idea for you guys that are trying to keep screws out of the way of your films, is just use nails just to make sure it's on there pretty good, it's not going to wobble, and just use some modeling glue or super glue, whatever you got. Alright, now here's the barrel. The barrel and the gas cylinder is copper tubing. I don't know the exact size, it's probably like 1/2 inch, but yeah, they're both the same size. And the front sights, plexiglass, and of course you can see all my sloppy hot glue over here. So, and then in there I have a nail as the front sight. And this barrel here, the actual barrel of the rifle, is made out of metal piping. I don't know exactly what size it is either, but I used it and just super glued it, and it's not too sloppy. And on the front also of the gas cylinder, I have the gas cylinder adjustment screw. It's just to add a little bit more detail onto the rifle. Also, if you haven't noticed, there is no pin for the trigger on the rifle. The pin is actually right here. I added some black paint to kind of fade it out a little bit. I put wood filler and glue inside for the pin so it doesn't come out. Alright, you can't really notice it from a little far away, but it works. I like it better than having the pin there. It just throws it off a little bit. Also, another key thing to making these, well for me, is using hot glue. You can probably use JB Weld and everything also, but it's going to take some time for it to dry a little bit. I know a lot of guys that do that kind of stuff. They just they do a lot of metal work, and for me it's just, I'm not too good at metal work. I'm mainly a woodworker. So if you're good at metals, kudos to you, because I suck at it. And also, please check out some of my favorite YouTubers: Ken the Artist, Jesse's War Movies, Armenian Legion, Oddball, 101st Airsoft Division, and the YouTube channel to the airsoft team that I play for, TF775. So yeah, that about wraps it up. Also, for the stain, I used dark walnut, which is this cheapo little can here. You can get them at Walmart. Alright, it doesn't have polyurethane in it, so I used some of my old stain here. It's classic oak, and it has polyurethane in it. It's one of those one-step stain paint things. So if you go ahead and get one of these, they're a lot more convenient because it has the polyurethane in it. And the polyurethane, if you guys don't know what that is, then it's that shine that comes to the wood. This one doesn't have polyurethane. It's not the one step like this one. Okay, so if you see a can like this, the stain that you like, buy it. It's worth it. If I left anything out, go ahead and ask questions. And like always, rate, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you guys later. Bye.